I'm your host, Jody Besesor, and this is my co-host, Kai. So our topic tonight is online dating. So, I think online dating became popular like in 2008. Was that around the time?
I guess so. I think, yeah, that sounds about right. There were sites before, but...
like Ashley Madison, like the married sites, like stuff like that.
Like arrangement kind of.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know that those sites were around like that. And I know, back in the day, this was when AIM, there were those chats, those group chats.
Instant Messenger, yeah.
Instant Messenger. Who remembers that? Now I'm aging myself. All you Gen Zers would have no idea what I'm talking about.
AIM, MSN, Yahoo Messenger.
I wasn't on Yahoo Messenger. But I guess online dating, I could see it working if you take your time, like say you talk to the person for a month or like maybe even 2 weeks to a month, 2 months. I would say you get to know what the person's about, what they like, what they don't like. And then I think that could be a good base for a good relationship. But I feel like a lot of times, and I also don't like when a guy takes forever, like on an online messaging app, taking forever to like ask me out. I don't want to say ask me out in like the first message or the first few messages, no. But like after a day or two, like I want to move to like an actual date. And maybe that's too fast, But I don't know, I've never actually met and dated anyone for like even a month online. I've had experiences, like for me, I'm like a serial online dater. Like I'll go through a breakup or I'll be really, really single or going through a dry spell and I'll like go online and then I get so frustrated because either on Bumble especially, nobody's messaging me.
Right.
Or everybody's just unattractive or I'm just not interested in them. I've even gotten like a stalker from, online dating. I don't know. So I just have crazy out there experiences with online dating.
Yeah. It's super like you said, it's like we kind of were the first generation to like pioneer online dating, and it's like sick because whoever made the websites, like Plenty of Fish, OkCupid, what's the one
Tinder.
about? No, well, that's like later on. Like now is Tinder, now is Hinge, but like, what's the one with the bagels?
I don't know the one, Coffee and Bagels.
Coffee and Bagels or something like that. Like they were so segregated before too, but it was like normal and cool. Like coffee meets bagel. I don't know what it was. But
now there's like an online dating for like everything.
Literally, you can get whatever you want.
Yeah, and then Grindr. Grindr. I hope you don't see your boyfriend on Grindr. That would suck. Anyways, you've had success with online, right?
I did, like, one time. I'm still in the relationship. I met my partner on Hinge.
Currently, your current partner.
Yeah, we're still dating.
And you met on Hinge?
Yeah, we met on Hinge. Like,
who messaged who first?
It's been like over 3 years. I don't remember.
Oh. Okay.
I don't remember. I don't even remember how Hinge works, if I'm being honest. But like,
don't boast to the rest of us.
Well, I had a friend, and he said that like Hinge's algorithm was really good. Like,
why?
And he was saying like, I don't know what they do with their algorithm, but apparently it's like if you set up the profile, like the way you want to represent yourself, what you're looking for, and you match people that you're serious about, like don't match desperately, like match seriously, and then like I think the algorithm on Hinge, I might be wrong, I have a feeling that it considers like your track record with dates, because I like went on
what do you mean?
I'm serious, I went on like 3 dates on Hinge. Like I used Hinge like it was a job. Like, when you're at work, like you don't fuck with your paycheck, like that's how I used my Hinge profile.
Were you on it like a lot?
No, I it was during the pandemic, so
really?
No one was even really dating, so it was very
right?
I was very selective, because it was like, well, if I'm gonna go on a date and potentially die, it better be worth it. And I went on like 2 or 3 dates before I met my partner, and I know a lot of other people who only went on like 2 or 3 dates on Hinge and then met a partner. So
wow, yeah, I met another girl on set, like doing acting stuff, and she met her partner on
Bumble,
Hinge.
and
okay. She was saying, and they usually say, like, usually if the guy doesn't propose in 2 years, like, it's not going anywhere.
Oh wow.
You know, like, he's never gonna propose. There are those couples that have been together for 5 years or more, you know?
Right.
But he did it everything in the timeline. After like a year, he proposed. He had a baby by 2 years. They have twins, beautiful twins. And I don't know, my experiences have been crazy online. Like, first of all, I had one night stand with a guy who played poker professionally.
Nice.
That was interesting. He stayed at the public hotel. I mean, it was a nice hotel. It was fun. That was super random. I guess I was in my 20s. And then I was in my early 20s. The first time I went online, I was on Tinder, talking to like a bunch of guys, and then I saw this guy. He was really cute. I really liked him. Like, everything was vibing. We set a date. Everything was moving along accordingly.
Right.
I met him. He was literally up to my boobs. Like, I'm short.
Wait, how tall are you?
I'm 5'4".
Ooh.
And I just couldn't do it.
Shout out to the short kings. We don't discriminate here, but she couldn't do it.
I mean, you gotta be, even my height would be hard, but I usually date shorter dudes. Like, my mom always makes fun of me.
Really?
Yeah, but honestly, I do think like 6'2" is like the perfect height on a man, you know? It just looks aesthetically the most pleasing, especially if he's in shape. So I had the one night stand, I met the short dude, that didn't go anywhere. And then the last 2 guys, one was even a doctor, one was in his 40s. I'm like, I didn't even think older guys made girls split the bill, but the last 2 guys I went out on a date with online asked me to split the bill. And like, this is how I am. I don't want to make a scene. I should really say no. I should really grab my purse and just get up and
just
move.
be like,
just an Irish goodbye.
Right.
Not even say
I'm going
goodbye.
to the bathroom.
I'll be right back.
Block, delete.
Block, delete. But that's like...
That's so trashy.
That's never going anywhere for me. I mean, I think like on your first 1 or 2 dates, at least, you shouldn't ask the girl to split the bill. And if you can't afford to date, then you shouldn't be dating. Like, maybe I'm old school, but it's sad to say that I'm old school, that I expect a man to pay for the first date.
It's not old school. So here's the issue with men right now, especially like straight men. Like, there's a group of straight men that are upset because they think that women's rights and equality for women means like it's infringing on like their manhood and their territory. So then they get bitter and they use the splitting of the bill as like a weapon. Like it's like, so, I mean, I'm sorry dudes who do that, but like, women are literally a gift. Like, can you carry a baby? Like, can you like, you know what I mean? Like, let's just remember that there's not as much as you can do as she can do. So just be a gentleman, and like the first date at least, you know, like at least the first date. Like, and also it's like the times, like every woman is rapping about needing a man to, you know what I mean? Like every woman is singing about like needing a man to like hold their part of the relationship. So like, I'm not saying like that's how it has to be forever. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And obviously if you just come out of prison and like
I've dated those dudes before.
If you just came out of prison, like nobody expects you to pay for the meal, like
yeah, right.
But if you have a job, just like save up and pay for the first meal.
I mean, I guess I've like paid for dudes, but I've also in other cases, like I had one boyfriend who came out of jail. He had no money. He was from like a rich family, but I didn't expect him to pay, so I paid. And then after that, I had this like rapper boyfriend. I guess I dated him for clout, but like sometimes I would take care of the bill, and sometimes he would take care of the bill. But I kept telling him like at that time, like I wasn't making enough money for both of us. Like I'm sorry, and thank God, you know, it didn't work out. But you know. But I feel like I always do good things for my boyfriend or whoever I'm dating, like whether it's hooking them up with like some perk or a gift or things like that. So like when it comes to like splitting the bill, like if you're that petty and you're that small, like you date a lot when you date in a relationship. And like men don't think that it costs women to date. It costs us makeup costs, clothes costs, transportation costs. You know, it costs us to be able to date. And if you're like me, if I'm dating somebody and it's their birthday, you best believe I'm getting them a gift. You know, if it's something special or anniversary, you know, maybe I won't necessarily always pay for dinner. I have before, but I'm more like of a gifter. That's my love language.
Right. No, you're totally right. Like, I don't know how many straight guys are getting like abducted on the streets or raped at dates. So it's like women have so much more to consider and pay for just for their own safety and security. Like, you can just be kind and like keep into consideration the world doesn't revolve around you, and that's what being a gentleman is. Like,
yeah, and it's respectful of somebody's time. The fact that a woman that you like came, spent time with you, I think that's worth at least dinner, you know. And I also don't like when a man, like, I get the thing where you should go for coffee on the first date or drinks so you don't get stuck for 3 hours with somebody, but I
Right.
like a good dinner. Like, if I'm saying yes to going out with you, it's because I'm attracted to you. It's because I like you. And, like, I want dinner. If a man asks me just for drinks, I just think he's trying to sleep with me. You know?
yeah, I mean, yeah, that's fair. It's like if a guy asks you just for drinks, like, man or woman, I feel like that is enough cause to sort of like be like, so what's your intention? You know, like, if you're
Yeah.
good at being charming and like making a joke and finding out, fine. But if you're a direct person, you want to be like, so what are you trying to, you know what I mean? Sometimes you gotta set people up. Like, sometimes you gotta be like, so what are we gonna do after drinks, you know? And see what they say, because, you know, like, it's hard to trust people. Like, sometimes you gotta be, especially if your intuition is like, I don't know. It's like, set them up. Be like, so what are we gonna do? And then once they say it, then it's like, just don't do the drinks. If you don't want to have sex on the first date and you get the impression that a guy wants to do it, don't do it. Don't go on the date, because you're setting yourself up for disappointment, right?
I had a point, but it, like, slipped my mind about the drinks. Ugh.
Well, what was like one great online dating experience you've had?
I've never, my one night stand.
Yeah, everyone's over online dating. Like, we really need to figure something out.
It's so saturated. It's become as bad as dating in real life. Like, that is sad to say. Like, online dating was the only hope we had.
I feel like a lot of people meet each other at work nowadays. Is that weird?
That's weird. I've had a work hookup, but, you know, thank God he got fired.
It's really weird, like, because some companies don't allow it and some companies do allow it, and some companies are like, well, if it's your superior, you need to tell HR, and it's like...
Yeah, that's where it gets sticky.
It's like, this is getting really real. It's like, you might as well be married at that point if you're telling HR, like...
What was I gonna say about the drinks? Yeah, drinks are so, like, but I like a good dinner. I'm old school that way. Like, I like, if I'm gonna go out with you, like, I like you, you know, and I want to have dinner too. I don't just want to get drinks. You know, it takes time to get ready, make plans, and all of that stuff. But I don't know. The one problem I have with Bumble, and Bumble is gonna hate me. Maybe I can't say this.
Talk about it, because I've heard a lot of things about Bumble.
On Bumble, like, this is where I think that men already have the leverage in dating, in society in general, and now Bumble gives them even more power where the woman has to message. So I'm thinking, how many women are messaging these men? And some of them are just mediocre, and then the really attractive ones, like, how many messages are they getting? And then I'll message guys, and I make the effort, and, like, I'm really trying, like, I really want to meet somebody, and, like, they match with me, so you would think that they would say something back, and then I message them, and they don't say anything at all. They just let the match expire, and I'm like, what a freaking douche. And then sometimes online, like, guys will do spiteful things, like the doctor who asked me to split the bill. he like unmatched with me after the date, like that's just like, you're a doctor, like that's too far. Like, what kind of mind games are you playing? Like, this is why I don't think that dating online, sorry guys, sorry to all those apps, I don't think it's any better than dating in real life. Like, kudos to the ones that can make it work and you find your life partner, you're very lucky, consider yourself fortunate. But for the rest of us, it's a wasteland.
Yeah, it's disappointing most of the times, but I guess that's why when you meet someone, it's so special, because like it's not supposed to be easy to find like a long-term partner.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I think online dating is better for fun. Like, use it for fun. Like, use it to make friends. Like, the only good thing I've heard of Bumble is Bumble Friends.
I've heard this, but I'm like, what kind of loser am I?
No. It works if you've like moved from a neighborhood and you're trying to like build community, or like, you know what I mean? Like, so it's like, it works. Bumble Friends really works. Or if you're in a relationship and like you're trying to make new friends, like, I mean, I don't know. I don't get it. I've never used Bumble Friends, but I know people who have success. I know people who have success with Bumble Friends.
Yeah.
Like, use online dating for fun. Like, that's my suggestion. Use it for fun. Like, when I met my partner, I literally was like, it's the pandemic. Like, it's the end of the pandemic. It was 2020, and I was like, I'm gonna have a good time. Like, I know that's psychotic, but that's the mind frame that I was in.
Who goes into 2020 like, I'm gonna be alive?
I was like, I'm still alive, so I'm about to have a good time. And like, the good time got better. So my advice is to use online dating just to meet friends, to meet cool people. And like, if it gets spicy, it gets spicy. And if it gets serious, it gets serious. But like, don't put your
expectations.
Don't put all your eggs in that basket, because at the end of the day, these apps just want you to stay on them. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we're literally like, so like, I'm not gonna lie. When I use dating apps when I used to use dating apps, I would pay. Because I would
never pay.
I paid. I didn't want to do the BS. I wanted full control. Like, I just wanted control. Like, you know what I mean? Because I feel like when you're using the free options, it's kind of like so much more waiting in vain. And I'm just like, I just want to meet someone and go out and have a good time.
Yeah. And one thing more about the online dating, this is what I had to say. I remember what I have to say. Like, you know, like these guys who are going on a date with them, like it never used to happen to me. I always heard my girlfriends like talk about it, and like now later in my dating life, my most recent dating life, it's happened.
Yeah.
Maybe like, I would say like it's happened to me like 2-3 times, or like 2 times. This is not a lot. And so my mom was telling me that I should ask the guys before the date, but it's like the golden rule is whoever asks the person out is supposed to pay. So if I asked you out to go to the movies or to dinner, I'm supposed to pay.
Golden rule.
And vice versa.
Yes.
But I've had guys ask me out and then ask me to split the bill. And I think that it's sad that we have to ask beforehand. It used to be just a given, you know, dating is so hard in our generation and younger. I don't even understand how younger people date or what they even do, you know, if they do even date, you know, so I mean, yeah.
People are spiteful. They don't understand what women's rights is about. They don't understand what gender equality is about. And at the end of the day, these apps are really just trying to keep us on them. They're not trying to, like, you know, Hinge's motto is like the app that you're supposed to delete. But we're gonna have to do like some polls, because we want to hear what you guys like which dating apps you guys like what success you've had, because you guys have been really quiet on Instagram recently.
Yeah, I mean, I guess no news is good news, but you know, especially with online dating, I'm curious to see how many people have had success, because I haven't. I always like, download them and then delete them a few days later because I get so frustrated because it's just not going anywhere.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to do a part 2 of online dating because I have a lot more to say. I don't know about you, but
yeah, I have some more points to touch on, some other sites and stuff like that.
Yeah, we haven't even really gotten into like we talked about it a little with Marina in episode 2.
What?
Like ghosting. Like ghosting, like we haven't even gotten into like the etiquette of like the once you match, like the etiquette, like expectations. You know,
Yeah.
it's like people sort of are really weird about that, but we have some guidelines on how not to be a freaking weirdo. Like, it's called be honest. And don't be weird. Like,
Don't be weird. Okay, with that, I want to say thank you for tuning in to the dating battle and to all the people who watched us loyally. Our last video did really well, so please subscribe, share any comments that you might have, share with your friends and family, and we'll see you back soon here at the dating battle.
Happy summer.
Happy summer.